Hello everyone, meet up in the bedroom here, your guitar junkie. You notice that I did that 3 different ways? Yeah, that's for you. That's for you there, Manny. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Let's give it some juice. First jam of the day. Yeah. Where was I going with that? I don't know. I just didn't want to do the same thing I normally do to that with that tune. And I was just improvising. Yeah. Why? I'm talking like Christopher Walken? I don't know. But yeah, I have to say probably it's one of my favorite guitars that I have, because like I said, I had one like this back in the 90s that was probably a couple of pounds heavier than this one, and never just stayed in tune, and never the intonation was never there. The saddles kept on sliding, and you know, I'm really glad I got one again. And I don't know, between the Strat, the Stevens Cutaway, the Floyd, and 2 humbucking pickups, and an ebony fingerboard, I mean, it's like my dream guitar. It's like, you know, even back 30 years ago, everyone, you know, every guy that I knew that was a guitar player was like, what's your favorite? I'm like, a Strat with an ebony fingerboard, Floyd Rose, and 2 humbucking pickups. back in the day, I liked the neck through, the solid, one piece. And it didn't matter if I had a 22 or a 24 fret. Now that I've become so used to the 22 fret, I can't play a 24 fret anymore. It messes me up. Just like when I tried to play a 7-string. I had a 7-string guitar once. And very rare guitar. It only came out one time from Fender. It's a Fender Stratocaster 7-string guitar. Hardtail. And I was lost. I was like, what? Yeah. So, my buddy that I bought my Fender Princeton 2 years after I bought my electric guitar from O'Neill's Pawn Shop in Patchogue, Long Island, New York. I got that from, Dave. He was the brother, one of the owners of Pat and Jim's Italian restaurant in Medford, Long Island, New York. I bought that 2 years later for $50, and I still have it. It was in a previous video when I was showing the room. But my buddy, that was a professional musician, he was touring all over the place, and they were one of the hottest bands on Long Island, hottest wedding bands on Long Island, and this guy played everywhere. I gave him the amp. I don't know if he bought it for me or if we did a trade or something, but I let him have it, and he pretty much used and abused it. Lovingly, though. When I had it, it was like brand new, because the guy, Dave that had it, his grandfather bought it for him with a Univox Les Paul style white guitar LP. And he was selling both for $50 a piece. I only had $50 for the amp after working at Pat and Jim's, and I really wanted that Univox as well. So yeah, I had that 2 years later, and I've had that my entire time, but it was in pristine condition until I gave it to him, and he toured everywhere with it, and wound up staying a couple months at my place, and later on down the road he still had it and was still playing with it, and I think it was, I was in the house in Rocky Point in Long Island. And that's when I was over at his house, in his studio, his whole basement. He had a basement studio that he built. And I saw the amp, and I just had that nostalgic moment. And I just wanted it back, and he just said, take it. Just take it, He felt like, he owed me something, which he didn't. Because he stayed with me. That's what friends do. So I felt obligated then to him, and I gave him my 7-string Fender. And I says, look, I said, you do whatever you want with it. I says, if you don't want to keep it, you could sell it. I says, and this will make up for getting my Princeton back. And I've had it ever since. I let my daughter have it for a little bit, but then I bought her an electric guitar, my middle daughter, and she wasn't playing it. I said, bring it over on the weekends when you come to stay with me, and I'll show you what I know, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'll show you songs and fingering for the chords and stuff like that. I don't even know what the chords are. I'll show you this, but I don't know what they are. Like, these are the chords, and this is the scale. And she wasn't using it. And I said, well, if you're not using it, just, I like to have it back. And I got it back, and I'm glad, because I still have it. And even though I don't have to play it all the time, it's like I just love looking at it. Same thing with my car. I may not drive my sports car all the time, but every day I'm in the garage and I'm looking at it. You have a secondary refrigerator in the garage, and I go right through the hallway door into the garage, and I'm looking at it every day with the battery tender on it. I don't have to drive it all the time. And that's the biggest sin. Even Seinfeld said it's the biggest sin. If you have a Porsche, you want to die with the most miles on the car, kind of thing. And I'm the opposite. I kind of baby it too much. But that's just me. thinking about putting the push arm in here. But I noticed on the newer Floyd Rose 1000s that have the screw-on coupling, which all of these really do, I noticed that these couplings, pretty much when you tighten them down, they stay. I've had, well, don't forget they were older guitars, now that I'm thinking about it. My older guitars that I had that had Floyd Roses on it, that had that arm, as soon as you move the arm like this, you know, in or out of your way to get to the toggle switch or whatever, it would just get loose and start swinging around like a helicopter blade. I noticed the newer ones are not like that. So, and yesterday, yet again, I was in the garage with the vise. I was bending all my arms up to past 3 inches from the body. Because especially like with this one where the toggle switch is right there, I don't want to grab it, and I've done it before, and I hit that switch by accident because the switch is right there. Like the Eddie Van Halen, the dead switch is right there. So same thing with this, the switch is right there on that one. Plus I just like it higher because I don't like it too close, so when they do go all the way down, right there, I'm not knuckles to the guitar, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So yeah, put them in my vise and I bend them up. And then I come in here with a ruler and I measure it. I make sure it's 3 inches from the body. 3 inches or more, you know, and I'm good. Good to go. So that was it, really. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks again for everyone subscribing and liking my videos. I can't thank you enough. And I don't know. That's about it. Have a good day and better tomorrow. Yep, maybe not. Here we go. One more time. So you know why Barbie and Ken don't have a baby doll? Because Ken comes in his own box. Da-dum-dum.